that we got to meet with. These people are concerned parents, citizens that have watched Meghan's rights, her parental rights, just be violated so viciously because of who her dad is. And this is just craziness that they are continuing down this path instead of reversing course at this point. We got to meet.
I'm sorry, guys. I was trying to send somebody a link to this. I wasn't trying to have echoes. Yeah, that's ridiculous. And we were so hopeful the other day. She was so hopeful. Of course, we weren't allowed to go in court with her. But hey, John, when she came out, she was hopeful, and they act like they changed their attitudes for a little bit. But maybe that's why they did, because they had something dirty and nasty planned, or maybe it's somebody else doing it.
Guys, we got a lot of echoes. Can we stop for a second?
Whoever's not talking, mute, please. Okay. I don't remember what I was saying, so next person, go ahead.
As I said, this is just such an egregious violation at this point. I am so disappointed in this whole situation, how this is going.
We lost him. He'll reconnect, hopefully.
Hopefully.
Wow. Okay, so anybody that hasn't heard, 2 of her friends were arrested, and they've got a warrant out for her. They're saying they hindered the removal of the 5-day-old baby. Okay, you're back on.
These are felonies, felony charges.
Yes. What happened was 2 of her friends were arrested. If you've seen the video, when they come to take the baby, one guy filmed. The lady was just there. She wasn't doing nothing. Meghan was just getting the baby. First of all, she was trying to talk him out not taking her baby. Who wouldn't? But she was very kind, very respectful. And now they've got, and there's a 3rd warrant, and we believe it's for her.
Okay, so when was the last time you were able to speak with her? Was it about 30 minutes ago at this point?
And then she disappeared on me.
Okay, so we need to probably start trying to contact Vero. What Indian? What was that? Indian County?
It's probably Indian County Sheriff's Office.
Yeah. So I just want to throw this out to anybody that might be watching this stream. Please don't call Indian River Courthouse or Indian River Sheriff's Department.
We know they've got John so far. We don't know about Meghan, so let's not complain about Meghan yet. What's John's last name? We know it.
I'm not by my vehicle where I can find the car.
Hold on, I'll look for it because I know. I mean, it's not like he has a podcast and he says it on there. So it's the last name is Corapi. First name John. If anybody wants to try to call us and we can get any information going on this guy, because he is still in custody. The woman's already been released, and I don't know if Meghan's been arrested yet or not.
Well, as I said, I always like to throw this out there to not call.
Yeah, don't call these people.
Yeah, but if don't call these people and express your grievances. I mean, that's a horrible idea to let the government know what you think of them.
Thank you, Punish No More, for being here. Yeah.
What was the last name again for John, Amy?
The last name for John is Corapi, and he is in custody, and this is the weekend, so I don't know if he can see a judge in the morning or not, or if they'll make him wait till Friday. Monday. Let me read this. Okay, this is Punish No More and Free to Protect. They have a YouTube channel, and they've been working on this case too. So, and she wrote, absolutely crazy. I just cannot get over this. And how can I do this? We all watched it, and there's been millions upon millions. She's probably saying, how can they do this? Upon millions of views, numerous broadcasts. I've shown what happened that day. Yes. And I didn't see nothing wrong with it. Look, no. That's my forte, is dealing with body cams. Well, that wasn't a body cam, but still dealing with it. That's all of our forte. That's what we do. And we ain't never seen, we didn't see nothing there that was arrestable. We didn't see no hindering of nothing. And I looked up hindering. Hindering seemed to be between two parents. No, Megan has not been arrested. Let's pray she does not get arrested.
Oh, thank goodness.
There
Thank
is,
God.
where my understanding is there's a third warrant. We're not sure who it's for, or afraid it's probably for her, but we don't know who it's for. And, you know, we'll find out when that happens. Do you want to call or do you want to come up on the show, honey?
Yeah, punish no more. Please join this panel if you can. We'd love to have you on here.
If you want to come on the panel, I will definitely give you the link right now. I'm going to drop it right. Ooh.
At this point, Amy, just drop the link in the stream.
I am, but I'm not letting nobody up unless I trust them.
Yeah, no, I absolutely.
But I trust. Punish no more. When you first come up, if you don't have your camera on, I just need you to, if you want to come up, just when you first come on, wave at me, and then you can cut it off. Hey, Joe Kaiser. Hey, John. Punish for protection. Yeah, that's the name of her YouTube channel, I think. Yeah, Punish for protection. Yeah, if you want to come up, honey, did I drop the link? I didn't even drop it, did I? Did I?
You sent it to me directly.
Okay, here it is. If you want to come up, here, you want to call. You want to call me? Do you want to call me on speaker? Okay. What I'm going to do for you, honey, is shit. I got a number you can call on. If you, I sure do. And I could always change that, bitch. It's just a text now number, so it's no big deal. Okay. I'll give you my real number later. Okay. I can't think of your name right now. Just give me 1 second to do this so I can get the number for you. Okay. This shit's not giving me the damn number. Okay, hold on. Give me 1 second. You guys talk, please, for a minute while I look for the number.
Yep, absolutely.
I'll be right with you, Punished.
Yeah. Hey, I don't know how the best way to tell you to do it, Amy. I just can't believe they arrested John after seeing the video of the. I mean, what I felt was just such an egregious assault on a family by the Indian County Sheriff's Department. As well as, I don't know if y'all call it DFACS or exactly what the Family Children Services. Each state has a slightly different name for it. I'm not sure what the Florida version of that is.
DCF, the Department of Children and Families.
Okay. That was such a hard video to watch during this editing process. There were multiple points where I just wanted to cry seeing how they were treating, Megan and her 5-day-old baby. A 5-day-old baby does not need to be pulled from a loving, caring family. And seeing that was just one of the most disgusting videos I've ever seen in my life. And then, as I said, I've met John. I know John. I've met Megan. I know Megan. These people are not the kind of people that we have this court system set up for. I mean, that is a beautiful woman in a loving home, and I just cannot believe that this issue has been pushed this far.
I can't believe it either. I completely agree. That is a loving home. That's what I seen in the videos.
Well, But when we were talking to John, he explained that, it went from, this baby's being nursed by its loving mother to this baby's being, ripped out of there and taken into state custody. And to what end? To what are we doing this for? I mean, how can anybody who has ever seen that video support, I mean, not only law enforcement, but DFACS? This is not why. I mean, I agree we've got to protect children, and y'all know me. I'll do anything to protect kids. I'll be the first one to throw myself out there in the firing line to protect kids. This is not why we have
the number. That's it right there for Punish No More. That's like a text now. You want to see the video? There is a video. It's
once this is done, can we add this into the description of the of this video?
Yeah. Hold on 1 second, though. Oh, you guys going to talk? Hey,
So I'm glad that we've got a lot of eyes on this, because this is just such and for this to be such a major news event, this should be all over national media right now. And the fact that nobody's ever heard of the story, doesn't know who Meghanwalsh is, doesn't know what she's been through over the past few months, I just cannot believe that this has not been all over national news because of who she is.
Absolutely. I don't know why it's not plastered everywhere.
Well, it's because of who her father is, and he does not want these stories to come out. And this is when you have somebody that's not even in government that just holds such a high power of prestige and power, that they can have a news story just totally, and what should be a huge news story just totally shut out of the media. This is just total insanity. I mean, because I've watched. There's not in any of my local stations around Atlanta, any of my local newspapers. We've never heard this. If we weren't covering it, it wouldn't. I don't know if anybody would know about this right now. Yeah, I'm so thankful to you and Amy for getting me involved in this.
Oh, absolutely. The more eyes, the more mouths, yeah, the more platforms, the better. And I know Amy's been talking about this for months.
Yeah, and I didn't realize how bad this was until recently. I mean, let's just be honest, and I'm not trying to say anything bad about Meghan at this point, but we're looking at somebody, for most of us who are out here, we're looking at somebody who comes from an elite family. Their problems are not like our problems are. But after I've got to know Meghan, she is an activist. She's out here trying to help kids. She's out here trying to help families in y'all's community. And so we have to stand behind her. We have to, whether she did come up in a quote unquote elite family or not. This woman needs help, and she's been out there on the front lines helping other people. And I 100% put my support behind her. This is not right, and this kind of injustice has to be stopped. A 5-day-old baby should not ever be separated from their mother.
No.
I mean, unless the mother is like beating the kid or not feeding it, or I mean, it's not from a loving home. Not from a loving home. This can't happen. We can't have this. We are not a third world country.
Well, and I would like to remind everyone too that baby had a clean bill of health from a doctor. It's my understanding that baby is very healthy, was born healthy. I mean, so obviously mom was taking care of herself and taking care of the baby even prior to the birth. Excuse me.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, even in the video of DFAX taking that child, you could tell that was a healthy, happy baby. And just honestly seeing the faces of these people that came into Meghan's home, and the joy that almost looked like was upon their face to be able to do that to another person is absolutely disgusting. It just disgusted me. I mean, this is what our taxpayers are paying. This is what our tax dollars are paying for, is to go and commit acts of atrocities or atrocities against good people. Like, why? And children, a 5-day-old ripped from its mother for what? To what end? And again, this isn't Guatemala. This isn't some foreign country you haven't ever heard of. We're supposed to be the land of the free and the home of the brave, and this is what we are allowing to have happen. It disgusts me. It just disgusts me that this is what our society has turned into at this point. I mean, this is as un-American as anything I've ever seen before.
Absolutely.
I hope Amy gets back in a minute. I see she's muted.
Okay, guys, can y'all hear me?
We can hear you loud and clear, Amy.
I'm back. Okay, with me I have, say your name one more time so we get it right.
Okay. Yeah, so this is Francesca, my own punished for protecting. On YouTube, it's punished no more and free to protect.
Can y'all hear that?
And I'm also,
Hold your phone closer to the
She needs to,
mic, please.
she needs to,
you
Okay,
want me to repeat?
maybe. Okay, one more.
It's Francesca. I'm Francesca Amato. I own Punished for Protecting. On YouTube, it's Punished No More and Free to Protect. I'm Megan's friend and also her Americans with Disability Act advocate. So I'm a national advocate, expert, domestic violence, child abuse, and the Americans with Disability Act. And basically what we do is usually get children back home, or we make sure that they're not taken at all. And we've had a really good success rate. However, it's a very evil system, very evil, as everybody can see. And this case right now, this is with permission from Meghanwalsh. She gave Amy permission to take it live, and she gave me the details of what's happening. So any questions you guys have, I'll do my best to answer.
Well, can you give us a quick synopsis of everything that you know so far?
Okay, so we all saw the live video by John Karapi, and John is a broadcaster for TGI Now. And so he did a live video that literally has about 4 million impressions or more. It just keeps counting. It keeps climbing. And then all the other broadcasters like myself and Amy and many, many others have done broadcasts as well. I did a thorough interview and broke the video down. And I also interviewed John as well. And we all know everybody has eyes. Everybody.
Okay, when you say John, do you mean John Walsh or do you mean the other John?
No. I'm talking about John Karapi, who was
Okay.
arrested.
Because I've been having people get the two confused. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you, but I just don't.
Well, I think just for real quick, I think this will make it easy. If we're talking about John Walsh has not been willing to talk to anybody about this situation.
Right.
So if we're discussing anybody talking, and it's a John, it's not going to be John Walsh because he has not wanted to have anything to do with the story coming out.
Right. So it's going to be John the activist, unless we say otherwise. Okay, go ahead, please. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yes, that's right. John is the one that actually filmed the original live video as it was happening while the Indian River.
uh-oh. We
Uh-oh.
have lost Amy. We have lost Amy.
We've lost the channel owner.
We'll hold it for a moment. I'm sure she'll get back in. Hopefully she comes back in with Punish No
We're back.
More.
It's okay. We're back, guys. I'm sorry about that.
Okay.
If you're not talking, mute. Okay, we're ready. Go ahead, lady. I'm sorry. Ma'am, we're back.
That's okay. So what I was saying is, the world has been watching this. There's been a national outcry for Meghanwalsh, and everybody sees what's happening. And yet it kind of really blows my mind that the Indian River Police that have been called out for corruption in the past and now are being called out again because everybody watched it. This isn't something that nobody sees. We've all seen it. And it took them 49 minutes total time. We have it documented total time. They're lying and saying it was 3 hours. It was not 3 hours. I also interviewed John Karapi, who is he's the broadcaster for TGI Now, and he was the gentleman on the scene who live broadcasted. So that's how we know the exact amount of time. And this was not any kind of interference. You would never call this interference because, as you can see, they willingly opened the doors. Megan willingly spoke at the window. She was just trying to invoke her rights. She was trying to understand her rights. And what's really creepy and scary about this, excuse me, is that if someone comes to your door, even if it's police officers and CPS, and you're in shock, okay, and any of your children, but especially a newborn infant baby, and you've already been put through hell, okay, and you're already fighting this corruption, but to top it off, you're Meghanwalsh. So you're Meghanwalsh. So some of the other things that work for other families are not working for Meghanwalsh because of the father, John Walsh, the corrupt father, and the hold he has, and the preferential treatment he's getting, and the money, the mega money that buys Indian River, judge and everyone, the police. So it wasn't like Megan wasn't turning the child over or she wasn't cooperating. Megan knew her rights, and she wanted to see a warrant. She wanted to see all the things that you're supposed to have in this country. And none of that was valid because it's corruption from the inception. Okay? So anybody that watched that saw that the first woman who was arrested under a warrant, Caroline, is the roommate, you know, she's the one that unlocked the door and willingly opened the door. Okay? Nobody was trying to intercept an investigation by any means, shape, or form. The conversation that went on, and I don't know, you know, anybody just has to look at it and watch the video. You'll see she's saying, "I am complying, sir. I am trying to work with you. I'm trying to see if there's something we can do." She kept saying, "Is there services? I mean, the Sunshine Law, the Buchanan Bill." You know, she was naming things off. You know, anything that we can do. And the other guy was just like, "Feed it along. We're just taking a child and we're heading over to Dunkin' Donuts now. You know, no big deal. This is just human life. What do we care?"
Right.
So serve and protect? What does that mean? Under our oath for humanity? What is that? We don't care about that. So we all know that this is a false arrest for 3 people. Now, the bail bondsman is not giving the names. They're pretending they can't see it, but they would obviously know who's who on these warrants. And so, you know, the first one was Caroline, the roommate. She was arrested and released. The second one is John Carape, who filmed it. And I also interviewed him, and you can see, he said, "How do you people do this job? This is barbaric." And it's, you know, this is America. It's like communist China.
We ask them that all the time.
Well,
I don't
also, just for understanding, interference is generally speaking a physical act.
That's
That's you putting yourself between a law enforcement officer and a suspect. That is usually what the interference law is pulled out for.
Right.
I also, as I said, I've seen this video now so many times, and have been breaking it down myself for a video. John was outside at one point, and the officer asked him to remain on the porch and not even to walk out into the front yard. He complied and did not follow the officers to the vehicles to continue filming how they were treating the child as they were still on the property. Everything the officers told John to do in the video, he did. He did not interfere.
The actual charge is hindering the custody of a child or something like that. And I looked that up, and that's generally only when you're like transferring from one parent to the other.
Exactly. What you just said it, Amy. So what it is in the state of Florida is it's under Florida statute 787.103-1. And it's the crime of interference with child custody when it occurs between the rights, because the custodial guardian's rights. It has nothing to do with the police. And you know, I could understand if the police, if this was like a criminal who's holding people as hostage in the house, and they had to do a standoff for 3 hours and they had to surround the place. And this is a 90-pound mother soaking wet with her newborn infant. The world is watching. It's Meghanwalsh, for heaven's sake. John Walsh's daughter. I mean, no matter, the more these stories go out there, and the more that people are seeing it. I mean, just look everywhere. There's stories coming up everywhere. People are talking about seeing him involved in Satanism, seeing him involved in child trafficking, literally witnesses, okay? People are coming out of the woodwork. There's people that are not ready to come forward that I've talked to that have inside scoop that what we're talking about is 100% true. And so my concern is for Meg and her children that our prayers need to go up.
Amen.
You know, our prayers need to really, really go up, because she's up against something real dark, okay? I know God's got his hand on her, but this is not easy for Megan, what she's been put through, you know? So it's because of her faith that she's holding up, but this is not easy. And this is so wrong, and we're all seeing it. We're watching it. We're watching the warfare right before our eyes.
May I ask you a question? Do you know if there was a signed warrant there that day? She told me there was, but I'm not sure if it was legit. Have you seen it, or do you know anything about it?
I never saw it, and the last I heard, and you know, I could be wrong about this, is that there was not a legitimate warrant.
Okay.
That there was not.
I know DCF has a history of doing that. I've seen it a million times on tape, on film. Others parents have done it.
Well, and also us being civil rights activists, we've all seen what we call pocket warrants. So I know that as of right now, we don't have confirmation that the third warrant is for Megan. And this is a whole nother problem with our justice system, is that if somebody has a warrant for their arrest, it should be immediately uploaded into NCIC or David or whatever system they're using to keep track of this. It is so often and such a common practice for the cops to not want you to know that they're going to come and arrest you, that they have what they call pocket warrants, which is something that's been signed by a judge. It has been put into the pocket of an officer, but is not uploaded into the system. And that may be what we're dealing with and why we don't know who this third warrant's for, although we all have assumptions.
That's possible, but I was talking about the warrant to remove the baby.
I know. Well, I was just talking about the warrant process and the fact that we don't know who this third warrant's for.
Okay, that's true.
All I can tell you is the bail bondsman is to break this up into two separate categories.
Okay.
So I don't know of any warrant for the baby. I just know of supposedly a signed order by a judge, but we didn't know if it was ink signed and if it was legitimate, which is not legitimate anyway. Family court's not legitimate anyway, but at least be a little legitimate with an ink signed order. And then there was no affidavit attached. And to last of my knowledge, there was no actual warrant for that baby, or no reasoning, obviously, to take that baby in the first place. Now, regarding this situation with the 3 warrants that are supposedly out by the bail bondsman, that they won't say what names are on them, I find that remarkable, that a bail bondsman is going to look and say, yes, I see 3 warrants here, but I don't see names. I mean, I don't know about you guys, but that does not seem correct to me.
It doesn't.
He doesn't seem
Either he's lying, or either they're not putting in. They're crazy like that. Like he's saying, they do weird stuff like that. And I want to ask you a question. Do you think, with this being the weekend, that John's gonna get a bail today, or did you think a bail's bond? I mean, what they call him, a CO, a booking officer is gonna give it to him, or do you think?
I mean, I hope so. I hope so for his sake, because I know he also suffers from, post-traumatic stress, and he also knew John Walsh, and he actually worked to help get money for an orphanage, or not
right?
Orphanage, I'm sorry,
like
a place for children years ago, and he started realizing something was fishy back then. So he's another person that's proven the corruption. And I think all they're doing is just showing their corruption even more to the world right now. I think they're actually hanging themselves personally. But there are judges that do come, weekends, so we can only hope that one will, so he can be released out. And he certainly doesn't deserve this. He's a good man, and he doesn't deserve this. Nobody deserves it, and Meghan certainly doesn't. So, I mean, they put him through enough hell as far as I'm concerned. So,
Carolyn didn't either. So you said they booked her and released her with a bond?
Carolyn was booked and released.
Was it or did she have to pay a bond, or you don't know?
I wish I could send this to you somehow. Let me see. So I have the it's hard because the group is like we have like a million conversations going.
I understand.
Let me just see if I can find. Yeah, they sent a link that actually shows where she was like, she was released on her. They paid whatever the bond percentage was.
Okay.
I can't seem to find it right now.
Take it. Well, that's okay. You can, if you can't right now, you can send it to me later.
Yeah, and if John has a bond, like I'm personally willing to help him get out. If we can come up with a bond amount for him, I may not have all the money to get him out, but I'm willing to put some down toward it. And I'm sure we've probably got a bunch of viewers that'd be willing to help out as well. If we, maybe we can talk. You can get my number from Amy later. If we can do anything to help him get out of jail, I'm willing to do it, and I'll put my money where my mouth is on this.
Oh, we can definitely work out the communication for that. Now, I do see here it says Caroline. I don't know if I'm going to say her last name on the
don't.
Mistake, but it says released, and then it just says release on this chart. That's all it says.
Okay.
So it doesn't give a bond amount or anything like that. That's all I see.
She might have signed out, because I'm sure she's never been charged with nothing before.
It's supposed to be a felony interference, which makes no sense at all.
Yeah, and I don't know if you can even or on a felony. I don't know.
I do know this. I said they're trying to teach us a lesson that they're involved and they're in charge. That's the lesson they're trying to give. That's the message they're trying to send all of us. And when baby Cyrus was taken in Idaho, Ammon Bundy got involved. It was a whole political thing. We already know why that this all happened. And thankfully, the family knew the Bundy family. And within 10 days, because of the public pressure, within 10 days, that baby was returned. And then within another, like less than 2 weeks, they dismissed the entire case. Okay. So we don't, you don't always know which road to take when you have these horrible tragedies and this evil that happens in these convoluted, corrupt, venues. But, we have, Meghan has a national outcry, and it's growing every second of the day. And we're reaching out and we're calling Ron DeSantis, and he's not responding. And that's pretty disgusting, because when you say you're for the people, you have an opportunity to prove it right now. And even though thousands of people have called and said, release Meghan's children back, he's not doing anything.
Yeah, I shared that picture with the number on it off your podcast. I took a screenshot and I've been sharing it everywhere.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much. Well, I've gotten some inside scoop that he's known about the child trafficking industry through the family court. He's known about it for many years. Okay, and these are direct people from that know personally. So, that's what I'm trying to say. All of these evil people are being exposed for who they really are. They can say who they are, but you got to put your actions to your words. And this is when we see who they really are. So, hopefully a lot of valuable lessons have been learned here, that we can't worship a man and we can't count on a man. We have to count on God.
No.
And we literally need to pray to God for what's happening in this country, because it's very bad.
Let me tell you something. I've always known you cannot put your faith in man. You can put your faith in a group of people, because sometimes at least some of them will come for you. But the only complete faith you can put is in the good Lord. That's the only one that's always going to be there every time.
Amen.
But
That's right.
As people, and like when I was arrested for videoing the police, I knew I couldn't depend on one person to call, but I knew I had thousands of people out there, and I knew I never heard a phone ring, but I knew they called all night, and yeah, they did. Okay, and plenty of them recorded it. So, but I knew they were calling. That's one time that I could have faith in man, because I knew there were so many of them, and I knew out of that many people, a lot of them were going to call. But you can't put your faith in one man. You can't put no person above another. Nobody's special. I don't care how much money they got, what kind of celebrity status or political status they have. We're all just people. Nobody yelling at you, darling.
Well, I can say this. I just want to, if anybody who talks to Meghan, just let her know that people up here in Atlanta love her and are praying for her and for the return of her kids. And this is horrible, and we are working diligently to try to get some help for them. And this is just this whole thing is so sad and so disturbing. And we're not gonna quit fighting for her. Like that's not in me. I'll not quit. I'll be behind her 1,000% until her children are returned to her, period.
Yeah, Melinda, you're.
Amen.
Hold on.
Yeah, Lady Justice, you're muted. There you go.
Oh, yeah. I was just saying, absolutely. We are standing behind Meghan and for the unification of her family.
Yes, and all the children, and I've been working on this for about 4 months, but I need more I don't have a lot of resources, and I've been trying to get the word out, and we're going to continue to, and I tell you what, I've had about 5 hours sleep all week, and Lady Justice knows that. I was fixing to take a nap when she called. Me and Meghan both were. We had just texted each other, we're going to take a nap, and then all this shit went down. But we're here together, and we need to share this out. We've got 26 people watching. We really need to get this out there. This is new. This is current. We've got her friend on the phone, another creator at that is willing to talk and has experienced this herself, but just in another state. But it doesn't matter. They're all crooked, unfortunately. So
I've worked with countless victims all over this entire nation, and for almost 15 years. And so these cases are all just like this, and worse and better. But because it's, that's what makes this very difficult. And people have to really understand this. So we're exposing, and I've been exposing these judges, and I've been exposing child protective services that I call child predator services, and I've been exposing not all of the police officers, but many police officers that are steeped in this child trafficking industry, because this is a sophisticated child trafficking industry. And then, like, the connection, and it's in my book, the connection between how John Walsh is involved in all of this and how Missing and Exploited and Walmart walls of missing children.
Oh, Walmart.
Mothers who have, all of this is affiliated. All of this is affiliated. So
that don't surprise me at all.
Well, if you've been dealing with the child court system for 15 years, I'm sure that you've seen some huge problems with the fact that there's nothing done by trial by jury for any child cases. This is always a trial by judge. And if you don't have a jury of your peers where you can turn to, that is an illegal court system as far as I'm concerned.
And let's remember that these judges and these lawyers, they normally never even see these children. They've never interacted with these children or these parents, except for a few minutes in a courtroom. They really don't know what's going on. If they weren't corrupt, but they are corrupt anyway.
It's a sophisticated setup. It's intentional. It's not a mistake. What they're doing is intentional. I can tell you this because I've court watched judges all over the nation. Nobody would make the decisions that they make. Nobody would make the decisions that they make. And they make them in 5 and 10 minutes based on an entire family's life and a child being ripped from one place to another. Okay, social science proves that that's the worst thing you could do. It's extremely unhealthy, and I can get into that. But no, whatever the gentleman that just said, you are 100% correct. This is, first of all, you don't even want to know how bad it is, but this is not a legal court system. There has to be a jury by trial of your peers to take away a fundamental liberty right, such as your children. Okay, your cell phone has more protection than your children. If someone
Absolutely.
phone, you'd have more protection. You'd have an actual trial. You don't have that in family court, and the judge is everything. And these judges are evil to the core, okay? And I'm saying this over 15 years of experience. It's not a decision I made overnight. I just watched one after the other, after the other, after the other. Children being molested, children being abused, hard facts, hard evidence, and a judge placing the child or the children with that abuser and taking and stripping the mother, in most cases, the mother, of all contact with their children, to take the protective, loving mother from the children, and in some cases, the fathers. It's not all, like what they're trying to tell people is that it's all happening bad for fathers. But it's been my experience going in unbiasedly that this is actually happening way more to women and children. And that non-abusive fathers don't want to strip their ex-partner or ex-wife mother of their children. Abusive men do, but not non-abusive fathers. A non-abusive father would never want to take children from their mother. It's not even in their makeup. And the only time they would want to protect their children from a mother is if the mother was, like, seriously had major issues. Maybe she was doing heroin and coke or something horrible and, not safe around their kids. Okay, but it's only the abusive fathers that want so custody of these children, and it's been proven over and over. And the judges and the judges and the child attorneys or the guardian ad litem, they don't care. If the child says, I want to live with mom, they go to the court and say, I want to live with dad. If the child says, I want to live with dad, they go to the court and say, they want to live with mom. Their job is to lie. Okay, it keeps the money funneling and it keeps the child trafficking going.
Exactly.
Well, I will say that I've been very blessed. I've got a 5-year-old son, and me and his mother are separated, and we were able to work out joint custody with him without having to go through this horrible court system.
Thank God. And it's another thing people don't understand. You don't have to do that, and you don't have to sign yourself into a contract of child support. And if you've been put into one without signing it, guess what? You can fight that, male or female.
Yeah, as I said, I was just very lucky with my child, but seeing what's happened to so many fathers and mothers that I know going through the system, it's horrifying. I never wanted to end up in that with my son, just because it's a scary situation. I don't care who you are. It is scary when you are looking at possibly losing rights to your child. I mean that, but my son, he's half mine, he's half his mother's, and we should as adults all be able to say that. But it's with this situation, these kids are not the state. These kids do not belong to the state. They belong to Meghan. And to see what's going on with her, it's just so disheartening and so disgusting.
It is. It's very disgusting. Let's not forget, when a child cannot or does not bond with a parent, what happens to that child? I'm talking about RAD, and that is a very real disorder.
Yeah, attachment disorders are horrible, and then
Yes.
and that's a lot of times when the children are removed, it causes them so many problems. Even if they're not molested or nothing like that, or abused, just the trauma from
Just
being removed, and then when
absolutely.
you get these attachment disorders, so then you're scared to trust people, then you push people away when they do really care about you. It's a mess, and they're messing all of our children up. And not to mention what they're teaching them in schools, and we're going to get on that one day. But right now, we got to work on Megan, and this whole thing. But yeah, it's a mess, and if you do find out that she needs some help with Belle or John does, we have a community.
Please reach out to
We'll
us.
try to fundraise, for that. We never ask for money for ourselves, but if it's something important like this, we will. I mean, like the other day, I asked for money for the records, and we'll see if we get those. Hopefully, I've done paid it, but we'll see. From the removal, there's really no reason why they shouldn't. But we'll see. It does. They have up to 10 days, so we'll see. But Mommy and Minnie, she had went through this before, and she's in my chat now, and she says, I don't get how they can say they are for the best interest of the child, and CPS was created by the United Nations, and they still allow honor killings in certain countries, and she's got a point.
It's a heartbreaking situation. It's this is not a fight that I thought I was going to be involved in a few weeks ago. But seeing what's going on here, and Amy knows y'all got my full backing, 100%. I'm going to do everything I can do to help Megan get her kids back. This is disgusting.
Yeah, I couldn't leave this alone. Once I heard about this, you can ask Lady Justice, you can ask Sam. Anybody that knows me, I go on about it all the time. I mean, I might shut up for about 30 minutes or I might, a day I might not talk about it. But now the last couple of weeks is all I've talked about because, and I've been telling people, look, if they hadn't extended that court date their day, it would have been really horrible. Thank God they did at least do that because they were going to end, they were trying to terminate right then. And that's horrible. And, she was complying and they don't, once they get it out for you, and if they really get it out for you, you're not going to, they're not going to pay, but they're not going to play, and that they're not going to play fair. They never do. And they're going to double down. What you were saying earlier, we thought we were getting somewhere. Yeah, this is how we see with the police. You expose them instead of them saying, okay, well, we've made a mistake or we're going to straighten this up. Instead, they double down and they retaliate. It happens every time. And the cover-up's worse than the dang crime, but they'll do it 2, 3, 4, 5 times. Double, triple down. But we're gonna beat this thing. Like you said, we got God on our side, we got a lot of good people on our side. And this might and I know it's a sad thing, but and that things happen for a reason, but Megan's a strong woman, and it's like she, and if people can look at the attention that her family has in a way without saying, we'll just hear the truth. Even if you think her father's right, the mainstream media should be all over this. That should tell you something right there. Okay, if they don't want nothing to do with it, why? Even if, let's say, she was really a bad mother, and we know she ain't. It should be, John Walsh has to take his kids because they got a bad mommy. Oh, ain't that sad? The news would be all over it.
You got a very good point, Amy, because they're not even touching it. They're not even touching it with that spin on it. Like Megan's dad and John Walsh protecting them. There goes John Walsh protecting kids again.
Because they knew they can't protect. They can't prove it, baby.
Yeah, because they know that it's libel and slander if they did it, so they can't do it. No.
So
I texted the other co-host for John Karapi. The other co-host is Eddie Rivera.
Yeah.
He hasn't seen it yet to see what he has to say and if he knows like what's happening.
Yeah.
So
I believe I met him a couple times. I was going to try to maybe I could try to message him I don't know if it's him. I don't know. I've got John's personal number, and then I've got one number that's. Oh, I can message it straight to the podcast, right? Let's see if
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
I can see if he sees that. He usually does. Okay, let me send him that. No, I sent him a copy of his own thing. He's gonna think I'm crazy.
Well, you know, that's the best part of us. We are not professionals here.
But that you know, sometimes when you got regular people together, that's the best. You know,
it is. It is.
We've people that's experienced this, people that knows the system's corrupt, and people that are doing this for the right reasons because they care.
Well, let's try to see if we can find out if John has a bond, because first thing first.
Can you work on that?
I will.
Anybody, or one of my mods? Are you working on it, lady?
Wait, can you say?
We're trying.
I'll be on it as soon as this live stream's over. I'll be trying to find out bond information on John.
But we'll get some other people. Yeah, the new baby is.
Yeah, that's what I'm working on.
You're working on it?
Tell me.
Okay.
Yeah, his co-host is His co-host is Eddie Rivera, and I'm trying to get Eddie. I sent him a message, but he hasn't seen it yet.
Right.
What's happening with John, and also, and we're hoping that the third warrant is not for Megan, but I can't imagine that it's not. They were the only 3 people in the house.
Right. Well, she told me 3 warrants, and I guessed all 3 of them, and she said yes, yes, and yes. But I don't know if she's sure about hers, but she knows there's a third one. But I guess she's just assuming since she was the only other person there. Guys, we really appreciate you being here. This is so terrible.
It makes me sick that these people, the way they acted and what we all observed, and how they acted, and how they didn't care that this is human life and a mother and child. Like when you can be a man holding a gun, and you could go to somebody's house and just rip apart a child from their mother and have no feelings or human feelings whatsoever. And to me, you're standing before God one day. That is such an evil sanctity of life that you would do that without any remorse or any concern, and then spin it into custodial interference, which is absolutely absurd. And knowing that the entire world is watching you and seeing you in action, and I haven't seen one good comment towards these police officers. Okay, I've seen very bad comments and very disgusted people looking at these police officers, even the one that was trying to be nice in the window. Okay, but especially, I think it's Deputy Richards in green, the one that's moving his hand, hurry up, I don't care, and I don't care if the universe tells me what the laws are, I don't care about anything. That guy. Mm-hmm. And then the other rookie guy in the door, like you said, he didn't pass the threshold. He stayed. They were in compliance. They listened. They were respectful. Okay, they didn't do anything wrong. How do you escalate this into arrest after you just ripped away a baby? Don't you have any concern for human life at all? That right now this mother is fighting for her children. She's literally fighting for the life of her children, and you go and you arrest her support system.
They don't care.
In front of the entire country that's watching right now. The whole world is watching right now. I'm so angry about this.
Yeah, and seeing those cops' faces, boy, they showed zero remorse. They were there just doing a job, supposedly, by ripping a kid apart from their mother. No remorse. That was the if there's a face of evil, that was that. I mean, that is terrorism happening on American soil right now against our families. Yeah. It's unacceptable, and this cannot continue. This just cannot continue.
Guys, y'all share this everywhere you can.
More report.
Okay, you got something else in?
Yes, I just got another report. I said, how did they arrest Caroline? How did they get her? Because, Megan is her roommate. I said, how did they get Caroline? This is what they did. The police said they actually hit her car with their car. And then they said, oops, it was an accident. Sorry. And then they cuffed her and took her in.
Wow.
Tell me that's
so they wrecked her car and then kidnapped her.
Yes.
If that's not terrorism, I don't know what I mean, I don't. We've got to have a police system to start policing the police. I don't know what else we can do at this point. Either they have to just totally go, or we have to have another agency to police these people.
This is an agency.
That's very mobbish.
It's really unfortunate. It's really unfortunate that, you know, when I say the word like law-abiding citizens, this is happening to people that are not, you know, and I can't unsee what I've seen over the years to make these decisions, to make it, I feel, an educated decision that this is the child trafficking industry and that it's extremely corrupted. I can't unsee what I've seen. Okay. And so when I look around as a person who, like all of you, are Bible believing, are, you know, are God fearing people, or just maybe not even that. Maybe you're just a moral human being and you don't do bad things. Like you don't go around, you know, causing, you know,
harm,
stealing or robbing or things, horrible things. And you have respect for law enforcement and so on. But over the years, you keep seeing them do things like this. It's very disheartening because we grew up believing that these are the people we can trust. And there's some that I do trust, and that this is the outcome. This is so wicked and scary for the country and for the next generation of children if we don't stop this.
Yeah, it's been going on for too long, and a lot of it, I believe, is a cover up for the elites to do what they want with these kids. I really do, but we don't have that proof yet.
Okay.
But
no, we have that proof. I can show you that proof actually.
yeah.
If we had a few hours, I could visually show
Yeah,
you that. 100%
yeah. Well, that would be great, and we will get together definitely. And I want you to meet my friend Lady Justice Liberty Press too, and maybe my friend Georgia when he gets back down here. He comes down here every week. The guy,
Yeah, I'll be back down probably Tuesday.
We were last Tuesday. He took us to Megan's. Hey, Gio, took us to Megan's court appearance, and then we were back there on Friday. And you know, she felt so much better Friday. But a lot of times they'll do stuff like that, you know, and we don't know if it's the courts doing this or if it's the cops. It could, you know, I have a feeling it's really the cops driving this shit. But I don't know. I don't know the dynamics in that town the way others do. I do know a little bit because I've been looking into it for a while. But it's not like knowing the dynamics of the city you live in or something like that. You know what I'm saying?
No, I mean we're dealing with a way bigger system that a lot of us don't understand yet. I mean, as activists, and most of us have been First Amendment rights activists, which is how most of us are involved in the beginning of this. But there's so much that we don't know about this defects in children's court system, and apparently it's going to be time for all of us to kind of dig in and start figuring this out too. I mean, we've all learned our rights. We know our First Amendment. We know our Second. We know our Fourth. We know our Fifth. We've got to start figuring out this child CPS thing because this is disgusting, and we can't.
And we need to I'm going to send a link to this to Susan Bassi on Twitter.
Yeah,
because I told her about,
it's a good one to get one on.
I told her about this case the other day, but
yeah.
She's in California, and a lot of times
she's in California, but
she could bring attention to it though. People, just because if you're in another state, that doesn't mean you can't help us by bringing attention.
That's absolutely correct.
My friend John wants to know, why aren't they filing for a change of venue bias?
I don't know that you can actually get a change in venue on a CPS court.
I don't either. But if it's criminal, let's use it to our advantage.
I can touch a little bit on that. Okay.
Thank you.
I mean, I've court watched this judge, and it's extremely corrupt what they're doing. So it's corruption on steroids times 2 times steroids again. It's one of the worst I've ever seen. And I've seen that. I've seen the most twisted, convoluted, evil cases. So now the Attorney General in Florida immediately returned children to a family because that's their job. When CPS messes up, it's the Attorney General's job, and there's all laws that are cited per state. Okay. With Meghanwalsh, they didn't do it, even though I think I got 12 or 13 out of 35 people, or maybe more, sign under oath what we witnessed and what was actually going on and all the violations. And yet they wouldn't. The Attorney General would not speak it for Meghanwalsh. So you see what I'm saying? This is a John Walsh situation. You have to understand, if anybody doesn't know of your viewers, you guys understand. But type in John Walsh's name in the White House and look what comes up. Okay, this is a deep infiltration. And there's a movie, a documentary that your viewers should watch. It's called Eyes of the Devil documentary. It shows you what's actually happening to these children. I do not advise you to have any kids around when you watch it. And if you're easily triggered, don't watch it.
Could you say the name of that one more time, please? Because I want to watch it.
Eyes of the Devil.
Eyes of the Devil.
And it's about a cult, and it's about the family court. It's about CPS. It's about all of it. And it's in this particular movie, they're showing a pregnant mother who's willingly wanting to sell her child to this. But that's not how they get all these kids. We know very clearly they're getting these children through the family court, CPS.
And so many of them are lost.
That's what's been happening.
Yes.
Well,
So many get lost in the system. They get lost, like they misplace them.
Foster care children go, to 20 different homes in a year. I mean, there's people are giving all kinds of stats all the time. They admit out of their own admittance that they admit to almost 90% of children are sex trafficked through the Department of Social Services nationwide. Obviously, to me, that's like 100%. It might as well be, because I consider trafficking when you take any human body, a physical body, from one place to another without its authority, without its willing free will. That's trafficking. Whether you sexually abuse that body or not, that's trafficking. Okay, so the family court is trafficking families and children, mostly children. Okay, so, and this is against our due process rights. This is against every law that there is that we hold dear in this nation. And it's been going on for decades. So, I'm just praying that this case, God is allowing this case, and I'm so sad for Meghan, but I believe that this persecution will pay off, because God didn't give us anything that, that he's not going to use. It's going to save many, many children, because we need many, many children saved. And it's legitimately happening in this nation. And it's a very sad thing for us as Americans that love our country to know that this has been going on, and that the more your eyes are open, the more your eyes open more, because you find out more as to why they're doing this wickedness.
Well, I can tell you one thing. After meeting Meghan, I know that poor girl is dealing with some of the worst things she's ever had to deal with in her life. When we get her children back to her and her family reunited, this woman is going to be a powerhouse in our community.
Yes, she is.
Protecting kids and fighting this evil, corrupt system. I can't wait to see that. We've got to get through this first. We've got to help John. We've got to help her. We've got to help the other girl that was, illegally arrested today. But as we start working through these issues one by one, and we finally get her children back, this woman is going to help us destroy this system. She is a wonderful human being, and she's going to be a powerhouse. And maybe she won't be an auditor or a YouTuber or anything else. She is going to be a powerhouse helping people get their families reunited.
It doesn't matter what platform she uses. She'll probably have to use several platforms. And
even if she doesn't use any platform, she'll be doing it.
Yeah, she will. And we're going to need a lot of help from a lot of people. And then she's going to need help. But right now, like you said, the most important thing is, but she was already an advocate. That's one thing that got her in trouble. She had seen these problems. She couldn't, and then I guess that drove her to question more things. And, and once you see the truth, can't unsee it. So, what could they do? They had to protect themselves by putting a narrative on her and taking her most precious things from her babies.
Yeah, because I'll tell you, you can take anything I own. I don't care. You take my kid and you've crossed the line. I mean, you want to take my house, you want to take my hot rods, take the boat I'm on. I could care less. I'll go buy another one, or eventually, maybe one day. But when you start messing with kids, you've crossed the line. These people, her father, India County, the city she lives in, all of these people have crossed the line. I want to see every officer that was there be forced to resign. I want the sheriff thrown out of office. I want the police chief, the mayor thrown out of office. And these are things that as auditors, we have to start working on.
Right. I need to say something real quick. Mommy and Minnie, she said that when they took her baby, the baby was 6 days old, and she has gotten her children back. And she said her and Hunter can come down here. But I don't know if you know, we're in Florida, baby. This is in Vero Beach, Florida. And I did put the word out there for Friday that anybody that wanted to come. I mean, we just wanted people out there to stand in support and to document. And nobody was able to come Friday. But it's short notice, too. I understand. We're all over the country, my people. I've got a lot of Florida people. I got a lot of Georgia people. But I've got people all over the country and in the other countries, too. So it's not, but we're always going to, I'm going to go every time I can and say, well, Lady Justice, and Yeah, so will you, and we need to, we'll have our live streams going when we can, when we're not inside the courtroom. Well, we can't get in the courtroom anyway. That's another thing. If this is going to be treated like criminal court, it should be open. Well,
Yeah.
Mom,
So
you're
what if
welcome. We get information. And, hold on, and watch my channel, guys. I will be letting people know when she has her next court date. For those that want to come up there and stand with us, that's fine. I let everybody know this time, and I will let you know again.
Well, I just want to throw something out about the closed court system that they're having. And we all, the three of us that are on this panel right now, know when we got to the court that day, not only did they not allow us to come in and see the proceedings that were going on, at points they would not even let Meghan into her own proceedings. They kept the person that they have in court, they kept that person out of court to deal with this person because they didn't even want her in there for her own proceedings. At point, it's disgusting.
Twice they did it.
Yeah, that is absolutely,
And
that is absolutely sick.
In the
That is
beginning, they
absolutely, totally 100% sick.
yeah, and they done it in the beginning, and they locked her out, and then they unlocked the door, let her in, and then they put her out again, and then they let her back in, and so they could all have their little things together with her lawyer and everything. Everybody was present, but her.
But her.
And that's not right.
It's not right, and
Well,
that's her
legal.
life. Yeah, that's
Okay.
Yeah, fighting to get your children back and not even allowed in court. That is this is, as I said, this is a third world country couldn't come up with something like this.
Okay, this is crazy. I want to try to share this with my friend on Twitter. Maybe she'll see it. I'm trying to get this out there to people, man. It's a shame to me that we've got 20-something people here. Not that I don't appreciate you guys, but we got in here. We're telling the real story. We got the latest updates on it. And then, you can get on there and replay a live stream from a year ago and get 2,000 or 3,000 people in there, being mean to the person that's trying to tell the truth. So I don't
absolutely.
get it,
I don't get it either. And Amy, I'm behind you.
No names. I'm not mentioning no names.
No.
What I'm saying is, damn it, man. We're really, we're trying to do something here because we care. And I don't, and my mods, if there's any links you want to drop that has to do with this, if there's any, like this lady's channel, she has a channel. She was in the chat with it earlier. If you can go back up and find it, drop her link. We want to drop all these links. I want to share all the information I can. You're always welcome to mention channels in my chat because I'm here because I'm an activist. I'm not here for a money dollar that I don't make anyway. But even if I did,
No, absolutely not.
No, but I did put today, in one of my videos, guys, I personally can definitely use donations whenever possible because it's really not just this case. My expenses are just getting to be overwhelming for me. And yeah.
Well, Amy, let me say this in your defense. Everything that we do costs money. Gas is $5 a gallon. When I came down and picked y'all ladies up and we went to Vero Beach, that wasn't free.
No,
I'm not asking for a penny, but if anybody wants to donate to y'all's channels, just know.
I did offer you gas though.
I know you did. You did. I didn't want it. You're right. You 100% did. But and my point behind this is if anybody does want to help, it's not this the little bit of money that we might occasionally make. It's going right back into the channels. It's going back into activism. None of us are getting rich doing any of this. We're doing this because we're
going broke, actually.
Yeah, we're going. Yeah, amen to that.
Okay, it's worth it.
We're doing this because we love Meghan and we want to help her, and that's it. Or because we love freedom and we want to support freedom. We're doing this not for personal gain. So any contributions that are made, we're not buying a new Mercedes with it. It's going to go into a gas tank or go into public records requests or something because this stuff is not free.
And thanks to all the people that did help me the other day, we raised $52 for those records in about 45 minutes, and they are working on them, so let's hope we get them. I paid them immediately. I showed you guys the receipt, That's the first time I've ever asked for money, and even then, it wasn't for me. It was just to get records. But this isn't about money. I'm just letting people know that I have seen, though, that there are people, even in the true crime community, which I knew we in our community as activists, as 1A, 2A activists, I knew we had people that were like that. But to find out it's in the true crime community too, it's disgusting. You
It
know,
really,
it
yeah.
saddens me. It saddens me, but it's okay.
Well, I mean, can I say something about all that too? Like,
Yes, darling.
This is a multi-trillion-dollar industry that's destroying America's children and families. So this affects everybody, not just the people who've had it happen to them. It affects everyone. It affects the little boy that lives in the neighborhood and his best friend got taken by CPS across the street. It affects him. Okay? So when people talk about donating, and I know it's not an easy thing to ask for, you got people that are advocating for these families that give up everything. I know that personally, and I mean everything. Okay, paying jobs. It's work to be on the air hours a day, working with clients, working with families, going through vicarious trauma from dealing with all these.
Oh, yes. The trauma. I understand that.
A donation to help another life. We're supposed to be charitable. Is a blessing to you. It's better to give than receive. And to know that your money is going to somebody who actually cares about your neighbors. Love your neighbor. So to me, rather than donate to these organizations that are trafficking children.
Right.
I won't say certain names, but are the guys that's helping them. When you could be helping to donate to people that are actually saving children. I think it's a beautiful thing.
Right. And even if it's a good charity, or so, like when you think it's doing some good work, they have administration costs, fundraising costs, and about 10-20%, I think, goes to the actual cause. And if I ever do get a lot of money, like if I was to ever win the lotto, but I never play, I'm going to help some people, man. Yes, I am. I'm going to go out there and help the ones that everybody else said no to. But that's probably never going to happen. But for right now, we're just trying to do what we can do with the limited resources we have. But we have voices, and we do have these platforms, and we're going to use them until the cows come home. Okay? No, till the children come home.
Till the children come home. I like that.
Yes. We're going to use our resources and our platforms till the children come home. And look, think about the money that could be saved. Hey, Judy for Justice. If instead of removing children, because if this is really what it was about, it would be cheaper and better to just help families. If a child really doesn't need to be moved, whether temporarily or long term, let's find a family member. Let's keep the parents involved. Let's get the parents on the right track. You know, nobody asked
the money back into the families.
Right.
Put the money back into the families.
Family, yes. You could be putting this money into the family instead of paying some foster family that may or may not be good people, that may or may not be abusing them. Let the family have some money, but they're so scared that they might pay a bill for a family, but they'll pay you to take care of somebody else's children. It don't make no sense, guys. It never has. And the more you think about it, the less sense it makes. You could have used that money to help these families, to get them on their feet. Do you know they take people's children for being homeless? They take your children if in the UK, if you have a minor learning disability, they'll take your child. Before it's even born, they start working on it. I've seen documentaries on this. Okay. And same things like that happen here. Chuck Bronson, hello. Good to have you guys. Okay. So unfortunately, two of Megan's friends that were there the day that the video, I'm trying to update some people that came in. The day that the 5-day-old little baby girl, Esther, was removed, they was the lady she lives with, and also the guy, one of the hosts of TGI Now podcast on Facebook. Check them out. They were both arrested today. He's still in jail, and she's been told there's a third warrant, and we believe that warrant's for Megan. Megan believes it too. We hope it isn't. We hope that they'll stop arresting people were these people taken to the Indian County Sheriff's Office? Is that who arrested them, ma'am?
That I don't know.
I would think so. That's who sat outside their house all night the night before and shined high beams in their house. That's an intimidation tactic. tactic. That's prior restraint. They were probably hoping they scare her and they're not showing up for court, but they ain't gonna scare her. She's like us. She don't get scared. I mean, of course we all get scared. We're human beings, but we got on the full body of the armor of God, and I believe in that. And I know everybody don't believe like me. I know everybody's not a Christian, and those of you that aren't, that's fine. But that's what keeps me going. That's what makes me not be afraid. You know, because this is a dangerous case. Don't think it ain't. That's another reason that Main Street or anybody else won't touch it. It's dangerous. Okay, there's only a few brave souls that are willing to go near it, especially if they live in Vero Beach. Okay.
Yes, and I want to personally thank everybody because I'm new to this story as you know. I really want to thank you and Lady Justice and all the other people.
What's your name again? I know your channel name, but what's the name you go by, sweetie? On the phone.
Me?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, it's Francesca Amato.
Francesca.
Francesca, thank you so
Did
much.
I meet you on Tuesday or no? Or did I see you online?
No, you and I have been talking
online.
On Facebook, and I subscribed to your channel, and I was thanking you for filming Megan do some
right,
work, and
right.
I wasn't able to be there.
And I watched your podcast. Yes, I sure did. You and your friend.
Yeah, they've done some amazing coverage.
Really, that's with her. Is that who that is? Who's the lady that works with you on your channel sometimes?
Yeah, she's a co-host. She goes by Cinderella. And
all right. Yeah, I did watch that podcast. I haven't watched none of the other ones yet, but I will. I will have time to catch on this. On this. I love to watch YouTube. This man here, he's researched. I mean, he's been looking ever since Tuesday. He's been looking at every interview he can find, every piece of information he can find, and he's going through it. And he's trying to put it in a compilation that's shorter and more digestible. Because everybody's asking me, well, what's the story? Well, I can't tell Megan's story. I don't know it, and even if I knew it 100%, it's her story. Okay, and she has already told it though. There's interviews out there, and he's going to put some of those together. He's going to put some of the court clips together and some of her press conferences, her speaking outside of court, and make it more digestible for the folks that are just learning about it.
Yeah, there's been so much happened with this story over such a short period of time. I mean, even currently, it's changing again. So this has been a lot to digest over the past week. But we are diligently working on that. We will have something out soon, but we've just got to get this woman's children back with her. This is disgusting, and I cannot believe this is happening in my country.
Yeah.
For me, unfortunately, I mean, I hate they've done this part. I hate they've done it all, but none of this has ever shocked me. I guess for me, I mean, when I first, ran into one of Megan's interviews, or I think I ran into one of her tweets first, and then I said, well, I got to find out about this. I started looking on the, for the interviews. Yeah, I mean, so much we've seen, and I've seen so much happen, and everything, so much we've been told has been a lie our whole life, that it's not hard to believe. But we're not asking people to just believe it. Even Megan just wants the truth to come out. She would be willing to have a hearing if all the evidence could be out there, if she had that option. But she don't have an option of having a hearing with a jury of her peers. Nobody's perfect, but this lady is a good mom. And
do you remember when we were sitting out there, she told us that she had like 26 or something writs or whatever done with the court, and they just denied. They didn't even read them. They just rubber stamped denied everything that she presented to them.
Yeah.
It's just been a mess.
Not a fair trial in there. She did not. It's all stacked against her.
And I don't see them change. And he asked about changing the venue, but they'll probably say no. But and they'll say, well, it's just family court. But no, it's not, because even though family court is a sham, they treat it as criminal. And that's not right. This should never even be a legal thing. Good night, Judy. I was trying to type it in, but I'm too slow. Thank you for coming, Judy. It's something that, I lost my train of thought. I hate that. It's terrible.
It's been a long week, Amy.
It has, and I haven't had much sleep. I was fixing to go to sleep when this happened, but that's okay. It doesn't matter. You know, when duty calls, I'm here.
If I can get your permission from all of you, and to have this specific broadcast, I can get the producer on CBS News Network, and he has like 60,000 followers, and I'm one of the, my program goes on that platform as well. So if I can have your permission, I could just have him take this video that we just did, and he can
upload it to his platform
for that, and then it would go from there to other platforms.
That sounds good. Yeah, will you make sure? Yeah, just will you make sure he credits all of our channels?
Yeah, definitely. If you want to send me, just send me all the details so he can put that in the description. So it's all.
Yeah, that's all we want. We just want.
I don't, Amy.
I don't care about that, but I do, and people might want to reach you to tell you things. It's important for these.
Well, and I understand. I'm not doing this for the notoriety. I'm just doing this to help Megan. I don't.
If nobody knows who we are or what our platform is, how can people reach out to us?
It's true.
That's very
absolutely correct.
Been doing this for years, and I tell you what, people want to see who these people are because they want to go look them up. They want to see, you want to go look at who's talking. I know I do. So it's for several reasons. It's very important, in my humble opinion, to always put in the description who you're working with or who's in the video.
I always agree that, especially we need broadcasters like this to the topic. So, then if a victim needs a story out and they can't get one of the broadcasters, they can go to it. They know who to go to.
Right.
Also, I let everybody share. I let them share whatever I put out there. It's always public.
Right.
But all my copyrights are on everything. And also, my disclaimer is very clear, that we welcome and we encourage sharing, but you cannot alter or change what's inside the what's inside the video. You cannot change it.
And you don't want people re-uploading it without your permission either. Right?
Yes,
I don't blame you. Okay, and you definitely don't want them editing somebody that you don't trust because they could edit it into God knows what. Okay, yeah, please tell this guy. What is his channel, please, so we'll know?
So basically, it would go on to CBS News Network.
Oh, is that on Facebook or YouTube or both?
Yeah, it's on Facebook, and it'll blow up with views for you.
Yeah, I watched that channel.
And then I could, from there, take it onto mine, which is Punished for Protecting News, and then I have the YouTube channel, and and then we can keep getting the word out. So it would say exactly as it is at the end of interview, and then with the description, it would have American Amy, and then I think American Amy and
Lady Justice Liberty Press and Georgia Accountability Patrol, and I can send you all three of our links real quick in a message. And
if you can send me all the links, so I can just copy and paste.
Right.
Send her my phone number as well, please. Just if she needs to get a hold of me or has anything that's breaking. As I'm editing this video, I'd love to hear about it. Because this is now I've got to adjust the way I'm telling the story now because of this. I thought I was almost going to be done editing this video, but I've got to add more into it now. So
yeah, but you know what? Even if you can start out with a part one,
Amy, this is already going to be about a 3 or 4 part series. So I just need to figure out real quick where to add this part in. But this is going to be a multi-part video.
I understand.
Yeah.
Okay, so do you want him to share this after we're done, or do you want him to try to rebroadcast it now live?
Yeah, just send me everything. I think I'm friends with you, Amy. If not, I can reach out to you on YouTube, and then we can send each other the information, so we can upload it.
Well, yeah. I mean, when we get off here, I can go ahead and I'm gonna go ahead and text you all three of our links. I may even call you real quick. So you want us to go ahead and end this for now until we get some more info?
My number? Oh, say that again.
I do have your number. Would it be so you think we should end this for now, let him get this out there, and then if we get something new, we start this one back up?
That sounds good.
You that sounds good, Lady Justice?
Absolutely. Yes.
Okay. So that's what we're gonna do, guys. We're gonna go ahead and close this out, and we're gonna she's gonna send it to CPS Network. I'm sure a lot of y'all watch that on Facebook. I know I do. And he's gonna upload this so he can catch people up to where we're at right now, and then he can send people to our channels if they want to watch the court videos or whatever, and try to get that feel of what was going on in court. And then if something new comes up, I'm going to give her your number and Lady Justice's number, and then if between one of the four of us, one of us will be able, if not, there's somebody out there that will be able to pull off another panel like this and keep everybody updated. Okay. So,
Sounds good.
okay. So I will call you in a minute, darling. And I want to say goodbye to everybody. I want to thank you all. My name is American Amy. Your name is
Lady Justice Liberty Press.
Georgia Accountability Patrol, and thank y'all all for watching. And just keep the love pouring out toward Megan, and keep her and her family in the prayers.
and our special guest was
Fred,
okay. Say your name one more time and your channel.
Oh, it's Francesca Amato, and it's I'm punished for protecting Inc., which is a nonprofit 501c4, and then the author of Punished for Protecting the Injustice System of Family Court. Plus, I have a YouTube channel. I'm everywhere. All you gotta do is put my name in, and there's like a million different venues.
Okay, great. Well, we appreciate you coming on so much.
mm-hmm.
Okay, thank you all. And as soon as we get some more news, we'll be back and check out all these people that I've been dropping, and Lady Justice has been dropping, and this lady's been dropping, because we're all working on this and we're all trying to get it out there. All right, I love you guys. American Amy, I am out. Pray for Megan and her babies. Bye.